Okay, now let's talk about part 2, project profitability training. Right now we will need to go to do a project profitability setup. Let's go to accounting. Alright, and then go to advisor and go to budget. These are some of the projects that I have already set up. Let's go through it. I select project demo 001. Okay, and these are the project profitability page. Okay, and let's go and edit it. I will explain. First of all, of course, you have to just set up your project profitability title. I name it project demo 001 profit and loss. Then you have to select your project code, which should be one project one code. But it depends that sometimes you may have one project that share or maybe started different time, or maybe same project, but for different, it should be different time, and then the project code you can actually create here. And let's see what is inside the project code. Or when you create a new project, all you have to do is just have to key in your project code. That's it. Now the rest, leave it, no need. Okay, and then the rest will be, you have to set up your project line. Okay, project line, when you add an items, so for example this, you need to select your budgetary position. Okay, budgetary position I have already created. One is project cost, another one is project revenue. So we will come back to budgetary position. Then the plan amount is, let's say I select a project revenue. I'm planning to have a total revenue for this project of 50,000, and the period will be defaulted, directly from what you have set up, and then you have to select the correct analytic accounts. Okay, the correct analytic accounts, we will also talk about an analytic account in another training. Okay, after you set up that, you save it. So after you set up, you will continue to set up the rest of the items, the budgetary position. For me, the second one will be the budgetary position is the project cost. Okay, if we click and then see, so this is the project cost. As you can see here, project cost I set up as a negative 20,000. So it means I'm expecting project cost of negative 20,000, but this project cost will need to be specified under what type of project cost using analytic account. So the analytic account that I set up for this project cost is called project cost dash label. So it's a label cost. So label cost of 20,000. Now remember, cost is always a negative amount. So we will do that, save it, or it will go to your set up the next one. Our next one is another project cost again, and the project cost is negative 5,000. So it means that I'm expecting a project cost of negative 5,000, and I link this project cost to my another analytic accounts, which it set up as a project cost material. It's a material project cost analytic account. Okay, after that, save it. Then you go to another one, project cost again. Now, if you have some more project costs, you will just set up like mine, project cost, and this is actually analytic cost for marketing. Then you may have another one, project cost and analytic account it will be project cost something else. And always remember that when you're setting up a project cost, it will be always a negative amount. It will be always negative amount. Now here, let's talk about a planned amount is the original whatever you have planned. Okay, like your original plan for your revenue, original plan for your project cost for each of them, and also you will have other. It's called practical amount. Practical amount is the actual posting. Like for example, revenue is actually coming from your sales, so which means your customer invoice. Now in your customer invoice, if you select a proper project code and analytic account, it will be posted here. But of course, these two must match, and at the same time the account must match as well. Okay, that is your practical amount. So project costs come from two places. As I said, it comes from your human resource expenses and also come from your supplier or vendor bills. Also, please remember that you must select a proper project code and also the analytic account. But of course, your chat account is important too. So your chat account must link to your budgetary position, which means that each line of this budgetary position, you must have the correct project code, select the correct chat account or the GL code, and then you must also select the respective analytic accounts. Alright, and then that is on your practical amount. Then on the theoretical amount is actually the amount that is calculated based on the planned amount from the start date until let's say start date is 1st of January. Now until right now is let's say 10th of November. So we will use the number of days in a year to calculate. So theoretical amount, it means that until 10th of November, the system is expecting that your planned amount should achieve 42,800 something. Now, but the practical amount here posted, it means that until now you have already achieved. It means that the actual posted account has already achieved 60,000. So it's more than what you have planned, and it means that over here the calculated is actually 140% more than what you have planned. You have originally planned when you compare against the theoretical amount. Now the theoretical amount it will be automatically calculated based on your start date and the end date if your pay date is not specified. Pay date, it means that some project is like they will only get paid on a certain stage. You know, like you may have a few project revenue account, you know, and then you may select a different date, you know, maybe multiple maybe progressive payment. So you may have project revenue, maybe the first progressive payment is on the first quarter, January to March, then April or to June, something like that. So you may have a multiple project revenue. Then here it will make sense where you look at the theoretical amount and the achievement, right? And over here you will have these two figures. Planned amount and practical amount will be calculated for you as a plan for profitabilities, as you can see here also, which means that 50,000 minus 20,000 minus 5,000 minus 1,005. So this is your total after you have total up, and this is the project profitabilities. And we will continue in another part of the training. Thank you.